I want to be very clear. Our borders are not open.
It's this declaration that has critics of the Biden administration confused. Secretary of Homeland Security Alejandro Mayorkas says the border is not open. However, the influx of migrants moving through is causing a lot of concern. So is the border open like Republicans say it is?
Going back to October of last year, there were more than 1 million apprehensions, but then there were also more than 530,000 gotaways. That's roughly the size of the population of the city of Baltimore. How can you say that the border is not open?
So we removed, returned, and expelled 1.4 million people last year. Ask those 1.4 million people if they think the border is open. Our apprehension rate at the border is consistent with the apprehension rate in prior years.
But according to Fox News' Bill Malugin, who was on the ground in Brownsville, Texas, the apprehensions are already escalating.
CBP sources tell me in the last 3 days in a row, Border Patrol has made at least 10,000 migrant apprehensions. Those are the highest daily totals ever recorded. Fox is also told in the coming days, we can expect to see the largest wave of mass releases the U.S. has ever seen.
The situation at the US-Mexico border is escalating with only a few hours to go before a Trump-instated policy ends. Title 42 was a health policy that Donald Trump launched in March 2020 during the pandemic that basically gave border agents the right to on-the-spot turn away immigrants at the border, citing concerns of spreading COVID-19. The Biden administration decided to end the policy because the pandemic emergency orders weren't necessary anymore, with a lot of the population now vaccinated. However, the policy has been successful in the fact that agents have used it 2.8 million times to turn away migrants who are trying to enter the United States. When the Biden administration announced in January it planned on ending Title 42 in May, there was a lot of backlash because the policy had been working to deter migrants away. That's important at a time when illegal immigration is already at a record high in the US, with over 5 million crossing into the United States since Joe Biden took office. However, Alejandro Mayorkas says they've been preparing for this moment.
We prepared for this moment for almost 2 years, and our plan will deliver results. It will take time for those results to be fully realized, and it is essential that we all take this into account.
While President Joe Biden concluded it remains to be seen how chaotic the situation will get.
I spent close to an hour with the Mexican president today. We're doing all we can. The answer is it remains to be seen. We've gotten overwhelming cooperation from Mexico. We also are in the process of setting up offices in Colombia and other places where someone seeking asylum can go first. But it remains to be seen. It's going to be chaotic for a while.
Last year, the Department of Homeland Security officials said there's an estimation that if Title 42 were to end, the daily apprehensions could rise to 18,000. That could lead to 6 million migrants trying to enter the country every year, a big jump from the already record high of 2.3 million in 2022. I spoke to the Federalist journalist Emily Jahinsky in March about what the end of Title 42 would mean for the border, as she had spent a while in northern Mexico last year filming a documentary on the crisis. The main takeaway being that these people who want to cross into the US are following the news. They know what the opportunity means for them when Title 42 is lifted.
That's one of the reasons, again, that we went last year is because there were some signs that Title 42 might end up going by the wayside, depending on what was making its way through the courts and what the Biden administration was going to do. And when you talk to migrants, some of them, not all of them, but some of them actually were mentioning by name Title 42. And that's another thing the media gets wrong. I mean, these are very smart people, savvy people who have made these trips, and they have a lot of agency. They're educated. They know what they're talking about. And so just that fact alone, that they will mention Joe Biden by name, Title 42 by name in so many cases, tells you how much worse that this could get.
Just hours before Title 42 was to be lifted, the House passed a bill that was backed by the GOP to address the immigration crisis. The bill was passed 219 to 213, with 2 Republicans joining the Democrats who voted against the measure. The Secure the Border Act basically means that Customs and Border Protection would have to hire enough Border Patrol, or 22,000 all up, to manage the situation. It would also upgrade technology being used to make sure agents are able to successfully protect the border. Although the Democrats do hold the majority in the Senate, so it's unlikely this bill will be made into a law. In a jab to the Democratic Party, Texas Governor Greg Abbott literally sent a bus of 50 migrants to the residence of Biden's border czar, Vice-President Kamala Harris. A move he's done before to physically show the Biden administration what is happening on his doorstep. The statement read, "Until President Biden steps up and does his job, Texas will continue busing migrants to sanctuary cities to provide relief to our overwhelmed border towns." Alejandro Mayorkas slammed the move by Governor Abbott.
It is a both sad and tragic day when a government official uses migrants as a pawn for political purposes.
Governor Abbott did the same stunt on Christmas Eve last year when he bussed another 50 migrants to the doorstep of Kamala Harris.